Good afternoon to all. And a very special hello to the most magnificent scholars in the world. Yes, you excellent scholar, young man of excellence, I should say. What is courage?
Courage, as we have learned, is doing the right thing even when other people are not.
Great. On Monday, our country, the United States of America, and people all over the world will celebrate the birthday of a man of extraordinary courage. His name is Martin Luther King Jr. He was born January 15, 1929. Martin Luther King Jr. was a great leader who worked to get equal rights for all people. He did this by helping to change laws that were not fair. Laws that were not fair, especially to black people like him, who live in the South. When Martin was born in Atlanta, Georgia, more than 80 years ago, it did not matter how rich or famous a black person was. The law said that they had to live separate from white people and that it was okay for them to treat black people unfairly and with disrespect. Black children could not go to amusement parks on long trips. Black families had to sleep in their cars because they were not allowed to stay in hotels or even eat in restaurants. In some places, it was against the law for black and white children to play board games with each other. As a boy, not much older than you scholars, Martin was hurt and saddened when he was turned away from the homes of white friends and told never to come back. As he got older, he saw and heard more bad things. Martin's father was the pastor of a church. He did not easily tolerate the unfair behavior of whites. With his words and the example he set, he taught his children and neighbors to hold their heads high. At the age of 15, Martin entered Morehouse College in Atlanta. He was a very good scholar. He thought about becoming a doctor or a lawyer, but mostly he thought about how he could help his people. While trying to decide what to do, Martin read a story about a man who had lived many years before in Massachusetts. He had refused to cooperate with laws that were unfair and had even gone to jail for what he believed was right. His name was Henry David Thoreau. Martin Luther King Jr. came to believe that Mr. Thoreau's way of fighting unfair laws could be used to help his people gain equal rights. It was simple. Black people should refuse to obey laws that said it was all right to treat them badly. As he thought about this, he decided that becoming a pastor like his father would be the best thing to do. Continuing his religious studies, he learned about the great leader from India named Mohandas K. Gandhi. Just like Thoreau, Gandhi had fought against laws which were unfair, but he also taught followers to love instead of hate and asked them to accept beatings without fighting back. At last, Martin believed he'd found the right way for blacks to fight unfair Southern laws, and this is what he taught: non-violent disobedience. In place after place, Dr. King and his followers were beaten and arrested as they actively disobeyed or took action against laws which were unfair to black people. Through it all, they did not fight back. Many black people in the South, in fact, throughout the country, believed that those being arrested and beaten should fight back. But Dr. King insisted that nonviolence was the right way. He believed that nonviolence would help people rise from darkness of prejudice and racism to the heights of understanding and brotherhood. In this belief, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. showed extraordinary courage. He was right. In the end, our country laws were changed to make it clear that all people had equal rights. Millions doubted his way and others chose violence. But he had a basic belief in the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And he behaved that way even as he faced bodily harm, imprisonment, and loss of his life. Go ahead.
Martin Luther King Jr. showed extraordinary courage. He continued to do the right thing even when others did not.
Thank you.